I hope you're watching this video before your driving test. Number 5 most common driving test fail is level railway crossings. To cross a level railway crossing without causing any potential danger, you must make sure that you leave enough space at any point in time inside of the yellow painted zone. So it kind of works as if this is a railway tracks, okay? Yellow painted zone that goes roughly, depending on the size of the intersection, it would go roughly around 15 to 20 meters. If there is a car inside of the yellow painted zone, do not proceed unless they clear. Don't get inside of the area where there's rail tracks, because you may get stranded. If somebody blocks you up from behind, you might easily get stranded, and if there's a train at that same time, you might be easily in trouble. Number 4 most common driving test fail is turning right at an intersection without a green arrow or after the green arrow drops. If there's an intersection and you've got a traffic light, okay, and you would have traffic coming from that direction, and if clearly there's a traffic coming from the opposite direction, okay, and if the green arrow drops, which leaves just a single green light, having to give way to the traffic coming from that direction. So what you can and what you have to do is you've got to come in inside of the intersection, providing that you're the first vehicle, and then after these cars have proceeded, you proceed to turn, okay? Now, in an instance where the traffic is still proceeding and the light's changing, okay, so it's very simple to judge whether the remaining traffic is still proceeding or slowing down. You've got to understand that in any situation of this nature, when your green light changes to amber and then red, this side lights will change at exactly the same time. So from there on, you must be able to judge whether they're still proceeding or slowing down. So number 3 most common driving test fail is not stopping at a stop sign properly. So a lot of times there's an argument behind, oh, I stopped, I didn't do anything wrong, I should have passed, oh, he didn't see me stop, he was looking elsewhere. That's a stop sign and that's a stop line, okay? So we're not supposed to stop too far, okay? So we should be relatively close to the line. That way we'll be able to observe properly any traffic coming from there or coming from there. So rather than being too far, not being able to see. Also, if we cross the line at the lowest possible speed, it would still be considered as a fail, and they do fail you on the spot for that. In everyday life, if there's a police officer behind you on a bike, and if you roll over the line at the lowest possible speed, it's still going to be $150 fine and 3 demerit points recorded against you, which on a public holiday would mean 6 demerit points, and on P plates, on red P plates, you will lose your license for that. How do we do it? So once your vehicle is stopped, okay, so once you've made a complete stop, try to remain completely stationary for at least 2 seconds. What we advise people to do is to count 1,000, 2,000. On the 3rd count, you can take your foot off the brake, providing there's no one to give way to, okay? So the main priority is to give way, okay? Also, what we advise people to do, or not to do rather, is not to be tempted to look before they get there, okay? So you're more than welcome to, but a lot of times we hear stories from people without completely stopping, thinking, but I looked before, so there was no car. But even if there's no car, or even if there's no traffic at all, you still need to make that stop. You've got to fully stop. On our list, number 2 most common driving test fail, sometimes people struggle understanding how we handle roundabouts, because it's always different. There's never an identical situation. There's always something different. You cannot have one single identical situation for as long as you live and for as long as you drive. Most people make an error on approach to the roundabout, okay? So if you've got a roundabout, and if you're coming from that direction, and there should be, you know, traffic from there, and traffic from there, and clearly traffic from there, okay? So we need to anticipate any traffic coming towards that same intersection, all right? Your anticipation will impact your actions, okay? So if this car's coming down towards roundabout, and if you slow down slightly to be able to let them through, and then by the time you get there, you can proceed without having to stop. You would have made sure that the car has made enough space for your car to fit before you committed to turning into the roundabout. So it's important that you start to anticipate traffic from the distance, okay? Often people get too close to the roundabout and stop and then look and then try to make a quick decision, which usually results in mismanagement. So just be aware and practice with your instructors hundreds of roundabouts. I'm not talking 5, 10, hundreds of roundabouts, because if you pay attention, you will not have the same situation in any of those roundabouts. Every time it's going to be something different. You can reference situations that you've encountered before so you can make better decisions in the next, you know, similar situation, but it will not be identical. That's why we have to develop our judgment skills, and they've got to be very accurate. If the assessor senses that you are struggling making decisions in these situations, yes, they will put you under microscope. Yes, they will cause more situations of similar nature, which we encourage them to do, and we always respect these things, because this is a serious matter. Driving a car is operating a machinery. And finally, number 1, most common driving test fail is overtaking parked vehicles on residential streets. If you've got a car parked on the left-hand side of the road, okay, we must make sure that we indicate on time, that we look in the mirror to see if somebody else is overtaking us and the parked vehicle, and then to look over the shoulder, and then to proceed around, okay, and then back to the left, okay? So what most people do, if they fail this in a driving assessment, their speed a lot of times changes significantly. When they get to this position, they slow down significantly, and basically inviting drivers from behind to overtake them and any other cars that are parked on the side of the road. So this is really important not to do. So what we would need to focus on, we would only slow down and wait behind that particular parked car if there's a vehicle coming from this direction, okay? And then after that car's gone, then we would, you know, with your indicators still on, you would check your mirror to see if anyone's overtaking you and the parked car, look over your shoulder and then pass, and then indicate left. You would then look over your shoulder and cross over to the left, okay? Try to ensure that the assessor in the driving assessment sees that the level of observing is adequate, and there's no need that they should intervene. Plan early, indicate early, look at the mirror early, and check your blind spot on time. Get around. Once you pass the vehicle, indicate left, check your mirror, see if the car that you passed started to move, and look over your shoulder just to make sure that nothing's changed.